everybody, it's Jasmine, and today I finally have my review on the Joah beauty from CVS, the Korean beauty, if you will. I will talk about more about that and when the video actually starts. So I'm so excited to share with you guys all of the products because you guys have been DMing me and commenting, everything like that, about how I should really try this brand. And so here I am. I tried it and I've been trying it out for a really long time. I placed my order, I ordered it on October 6th. So I ordered it a long time ago and I've been testing it since. So I do have a lot to say and let's get started. Before I go into the whole face, I wanted to talk about something that I noticed right away and I feel like you guys should know as well. So in all of the products, like in the corner or on the bottom, each one of these say that they're inspired by KBeauty, but the K in KBeauty looked really familiar and I said, I've seen that before. You know, that is very familiar, and I turn around the packaging and it says it's made by Kiss. So it says here, manufactured for Kiss products, and it's designed in the US but made in Korea. So is this real Korean beauty, or is this kind of just like a marketing ploy where everything has like the aesthetic of Korean beauty? Like, what's up? So obviously I have tried everything, so I do have an opinion on everything. Since it says it's inspired by, it's kind of like when you go into CVS or Walgreens, there's always a perfume in there that says inspired by Beyonce Heat, but it's not Beyonce Heat, you know? So there is just, I don't know, to me it just feels fake, but overall as like the brand, that's kind of what I'm going to be talking about and discussing about. So let's go into the primer since I'm holding it right now. This is the Selfie Ready Pore Minimizing Primer. So I bought everything off of the CVS website, and some things didn't make it into my cart even though I added it to my cart, but you know what, it's fine. So this one is $8.99 full price, but since I had like a 30% off my whole entire order, I only ended up spending $6.30 on it, so that was good, you know, not too bad. So I actually really like the primer. I think the primer is actually one of the most promising things from this whole line. I think this actually might be my favorite thing from everything that I'm trying. When I work it into the skin, it has a thickness to it, so it really stays on the skin. But what I like about it is that it really does make my face look really poreless and really, really smooth. If you really like that ColourPop primer that I kind of don't really care about, this is kind of like the version that I want the ColourPop primer to be. So this one actually met my standards on what a pore minimizing primer should feel like, should perform like, has no scent, and it's pretty good in price. So I was recommended from one of my followers who is actually my foundation twinnie, and she said that she really loved this foundation, the Truly Yours Natural Finish Drop Foundation in the shade Natural Beige specifically. Now, they didn't have a golden beige. If they did, I would have taken that, but the only type of color that felt like would match me was natural beige, because before I discovered golden beige, natural beige used to be my drugstore shade. So I bought this and I have a lot to say about it because I don't really like the way it looks on my skin, and I also think it oxidizes a lot. So I have a lot more redness than usual because my dog attacked my face this morning, but you know what, that's fine. We'll just add a little bit more. But I feel like this doesn't give me medium coverage right away. Who is trying to contact me? So on with what I'm saying, I don't think it gives me medium coverage whatsoever, and knowing me, I never blend in my foundation with a brush. So I'm going to go in with my ShopMissA Lip Pop Charity Sponge. This one is my absolute favorite. And I kind of just let it sit on my face for a minute just so it can get a little bit more dry and enhance the coverage just a little bit. You know, that Jackie Aina trick that everybody loves. Yes, it's blurring out the redness, but is it completely eradicating the redness? No. it's not doing that. So I'm just going to continue to blend, and then we're going to wait to see if it oxidizes, because the last time that I used it, it oxidized really orange, and hopefully, well, kind of yes and no, hopefully not, it does oxidize orange, because I want you guys to see what I had troubles with. Oh, it's starting. Oh, it started. Okay, so you could clearly see, well, I could clearly see because I didn't apply foundation like right here. You can clearly see the distinction between the foundation, my cheek, and my neck. And I'm getting darker by the moment. And I wasn't like this before. And I know you guys can see it because I changed my background. I don't think this might be the one for you if you're looking for like straight out the bottle color match. Maybe if you know you're gonna go on vacation, you know you're gonna get a tan, and then you're just like, oh, I think I'm gonna need something that is going to oxidize and actually look like my tan shade. It just keeps getting darker and it's getting me like kind of frazzled, but we're gonna keep going. I did buy a concealer, and I think the concealer options were really hard. By the way, the foundation and concealer options don't run dark at all. I'm like one of the last shades in the foundation, and I'm not that dark. And as you saw when I applied it, it was like my perfect shade, and now it's oxidizing. Yeah, so I don't really know how like the lightest shade is gonna work on somebody, but I don't know, man. I'm just medium. I'm a medium girl. So this is the Truly Yours Full Cover Concealer. And oh, by the way, the foundation was originally $8.99 as well, and that one I got for $6.30. And then for the concealer, this is originally $5.99, and then I got it on sale for $4.20. I got the shade Porcelain because online I felt like the other shades looked too dark. So I thought maybe I'll just go into one that may be a little light, and then if the foundation's too dark, maybe I can lighten it. Good job for me, you know what I mean? So I'm just gonna squeeze this on the back of my hand since it's in one of those squeezy tubes. I'm gonna use my concealer brush for this just to apply it. And I'm pretty much reverse contouring because I need to lighten up the foundation. So again, I'm just gonna take my sponge and I'm gonna blend everything out. The concealer as well, whenever I see concealers like this, I think that they're gonna be like extra full coverage, and this one actually does claim to be full coverage, but it's anything but. The coverage is the same as the foundation, and I can honestly tell you that I could care less about it because it really doesn't give me full coverage, and the color kind of just like blends away. As you can see, like it doesn't really do much of a difference. And as a matter of fact, I think I just rubbed off the foundation because I'm seeing like all of my little mini, very mini freckles that you guys can't see, but I could see if I look close up. I could see them peeking through, and normally those get covered very easily, but today I don't know what's happening. I'm gonna zoom you guys up close to see like what I'm talking about because it's not giving me coverage. Let me dim down the light as well. Like not giving me coverage, a little patchy. My skin though, I'll give it this. It looks really smooth, but it's the fact that like nothing is really being covered. And you know, when situations arise like this and I have the wrong color foundation and then the wrong color concealer, I can usually make it work, but it's the fact that like the concealer on top of the foundation, it's like completely like worn out, and you could see like a little bit of my darkness down there. The red on my nose is apparent, and it's just like not clinging well to like any of my acne that I have. I don't know if you guys can see that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do another layer of foundation and concealer, to really build up this coverage and to make it a little wearable. Yeah. So to blend all over the skin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take mostly concealer, like that much, and then I'm going to take foundation, mix it together, and then apply it all over my face. And I'm hoping that I can get a good foundation match out of this. So I did just stop talking overall just so I could get an even blend across my face. So when everything dried kind of like on my forehead and my chin area, it was starting to feel like a little caked on, a little layered on, but my face doesn't feel like anything tight, or it doesn't feel like heavy, you know? So I like the way it's looking a little bit more now. So I'm just gonna go ahead, continue on with the face. So I do have the Selfie Ready setting powder in the shade Banana, and I was really excited for this because I love banana powder. This one was originally $8.99 and then I got it for $6.30, so not that bad, but I personally wouldn't pay $9 full price for this because it gives you flashback. And it's really bad flashback too. And I'm going to insert a picture of the first time I wore this. And by the way, the first time I wore this, I did not use a lot of powder. But you know what? Since today I'm not really going to be taking flash photography, I'm going to be using this how I normally would apply powder. So I know that since it does have flashback, I know a lot of you guys will be turned off. But the good thing is that it does have a sifter so that you can close it and not be stupid like me and then, you know, over pour. So, you know, user error. But this stuff is very, very finely milled. I don't think I've ever used a powder this fine before. So it is very different, and I personally like the formula of it. But as far as like the flashback goes, it's kind of just like, oh, well, this is something that I can only exclusively wear for like school or work. I'm gonna let this powder sit on my face while I am trying to find, oh, here it is, my brow pencil. So I think the brow pencil was actually the cheapest thing that I bought. Yes, it was. So this was actually $3.99 full price and I got it for $2.80. So I got the Auto Eyebrow Pencil in the shade Dark Brown. This one has a really weird color too. So normally in brow pencils, brow pomades, anything like that, you guys know I'm always a dark brown. That is my shade in every single brow product. This has a red undertone, so it just looks really weird. I'm just gonna go ahead and apply it and show you guys what it looks like. It also has an oval shape, so it's nothing like the ShopMissA brow pencil or the ABH definer brow, and it's definitely not as thin as like any micro brow pencil or any type of brow wiz. It's an oval shape, so it's something in between. As far as the spoolie is concerned, it's one of these guys. It's not one of these. So I'm gonna show you what she does. Can you see how it has a little bit of red in it as opposed to like a brown undertone or like a gray undertone? Like, do you see how it's just really, really warm? I mean, yeah, it can work, but there has been better color matches in the dark brown world. To be fair, this eyebrow pencil is like every other eyebrow pencil. Not too waxy, not too dry, pretty creamy, easy to apply, easy to blend. But since it's not my shade, I'm gonna just put a little bit of powder just to make sure that it matches my hair. So I'm not gonna do a lot like I normally do, but just enough to kind of alter the shade. Oh my god, I just keep sneezing because this powder is getting everywhere. No, I'm not gonna sneeze. Stop that. This is the birthday suit eyeshadow Beige. This was unnecessarily expensive, $9.99, and then I bought it for $7. I don't know. I just think the packaging is really cheap. I'm not one to knock down a product because of the packaging, but this being $10 as opposed to like if you were to compare it to like a Wet n Wild eyeshadow palette. Theirs has like a plastic packaging, which is really nice and sleek. This one just like, it's cardboard, and like this right here, this is just plastic. It's not even like a hard plastic. It's like a soft plastic. Like, I don't know, can you hear that? And then, oh no, it's just bulky, and I just feel like $10 is kind of expensive for what it is. And there's only one matte in this palette, which is the dark shade right here. Everything else is a shimmer or metallic. So I'm going to be applying this onto my eyes. This is going to be a very shimmery look, but we're going to make it work. And I'm just going to go ahead and go with the flow. I really don't know what I'm wearing today. I'm still in my PJs. So we're just going to go with it. I'm applying Baby Doll into my crease, which is like the lightest crease shade in the palette, because I want to start off somewhere light, just in case, you know, it gets out of hand. I really didn't like it the first time because I couldn't get like a complete look because there weren't a lot of mattes in this. And what this reminds me of is like early circa 2010 eyeshadow palettes from the drugstore where mattes weren't a thing. So I started with Baby Doll here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to continue to deepen up my look, kind of like the palette. So the next shade I'm going to use this one, which is Rose. There's also a lot of fallout associated with this palette, and I feel like for the amount of fallout, you're not getting a lot of pigment. And I know that in Korean beauty, you know, not everything has like intense pigment, but I'd expect from the amount of fallout that I'm getting that there is some type of like depth and dimension to this look, but that's not the case. So I'm gonna take the next shade, which is Night Out, which is the maroon, and I'm going to focus this in the crease and the outer corner. I don't know, I feel like this palette is really lackluster, and you can only get a few looks out of it, being that there is only one matte shade and all the rest are shimmer. And I don't know, this palette to me doesn't really stand out to me like with my other palettes, and I feel like you can totally skip out on this for the amount of money that it is, for the quality, for the just everything about it. I feel like you can do better, you know. There are a lot of other really inexpensive eyeshadows that you can get that are drugstore price, like Makeup Revolution Iconic palettes are $7, which is cheaper than this. You get more eyeshadows and better quality. Before I finish up my lash line, I want to go in with my eyeliner. This is another eyeliner that I bought, but I have a liquid eyeliner. This one I was actually really excited about because this is a brush tip eyeliner. I'm reading the packaging. This is the I'm So Fly liner. Did this come out first or did Fenty come out first? Who knows? But this one was actually $7.99 full price, and then on sale I got it for $5.60. It's not completely black. It kind of fades into like this gray, and you know, I just like my liners at least black. You know, if it's gray, then it's not really great, but maybe that was just like the times I used it. Maybe today is gonna be a different day. Maybe today the pigment just decides to come through and look really good for me. So let's just go ahead and apply it as normal. The pigment came out to play today, so it's good. No, I'm really happy because I like the tip of this. It's very thin, very precise, very similar to the Kat Von D one. So if you're into that, I would say go for this because I know there's a lot of people boycotting Kat Von D. This one was actually another cheap one. This one was originally $4 and I got it for $2.80, and this is just a twist up one. This is their Eye Candy Auto Eyeliner, and I'm pretty sure I got the shade black. It doesn't really say. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tightline my upper waterline like I always do. And this is going to help conceal the fact that I will be wearing fake lashes today. For the price, it is okay. It's something that, like, if I was in a pinch, then I would definitely go grab. But if I'm comparing it to like the other eyeliners that I really, really love, like my Sigma one, or maybe my LA Girl one, or my MyLookingGlass one, I don't think this one is up to par as far as like pigmentation, and I definitely feel like this is something that you're gonna have to set in place because it will move, and it's something that is not waterproof. So with that being said, like, it's good for the price, like if you're in a pinch, but I have things that are way better than this in my collection. Am I gonna set it today? No. I'm just gonna go with the flow and, you know, complete the look. As far as my lower lash line is concerned, I'm going to go ahead and take a little bit of that matte shade, and I'm going to place this as close to my lash line as possible. I'm just trying to find my mirror. I'm going to apply it as close to my lash line as possible, and then if I want to go in with any shimmers down there, then I totally would. But for now, I'm just going to be applying this near my lash line. And I saved the lightest shade right here called Bubbly for my inner corners, so that's what I'm gonna do. Something super simple. Things are slowly coming together. I know we had a rough start, but as long as, you know, the completed look is fine, then that's all that matters because I have somewhere to go. So this right here is the most expensive thing in this whole entire haul. This one was $14 and I got it for $9.80 on sale. This is Be My Everything Powder Contour Palette, and there was only 2 shades. So same thing with the eyeshadow palette. I think there's only 2. The other one that was darker than this, I believe, was way too dark for me, and I knew that like it wouldn't be ideal that if I used it. So I decided to get this one, and I don't know who you're trying to bronze with this shade, but it's not me. Let me tell you that much. It even says bronze up there. Excuse me, ma'am. No. So this has a highlight, bronzer, and contour. I'm just going to be using the contour and highlight. If I do need to go into anything else like blush, I do have my Benefit Cheekathon palette with me, just so I could get that done. There is a brush included, which is probably why it is so expensive. Let me just use it. You know what? Like, this is like a pretty, like, I don't know, like standard brush. So we'll see what she's all about. So I'm just gonna go in with contour like I said and just go at it. This side, I actually really like the way it looks and how it applies, but I will tell you the brush is really scratchy and really cheap, so it's not really like the best quality brush. But if you are in a pinch and you just so happen to have this palette, the brush works. Now if I were to just use my regular brush, let's go ahead and see what that's all about. So I definitely got more pigment on this side, but it doesn't look as blended as this side. So I'm just trying to even it out. And then we can go on into highlight, this one right here. And I'm just gonna go in with this brush that I don't believe has any highlight on it, my Sigma F64. Very subtle, extremely subtle. Again, for the price, I don't think it's worth it. I'm gonna go into the lightest eyeshadow and apply this as highlight. For mascara, I pretty much chose like the best selling one, or like the best rated one, and this one is the Ice Cream Volume and Curl Mascara. This one I feel like was pretty expensive. This one was $8 and I got it for $5.60. The packaging here is also really, really cheap, like really light, and I really did not like this, let me tell you. It was just like, I don't know, just cheap mascara, and I don't feel like it provided curl. I don't really think it provided much volume, and I don't think it provided any length at all. Just color in my opinion. So I'm just gonna apply this as usual. Alright, so this is the completed look with my hair, with my outfit on and everything. So I have a long day ahead of me. Right now it's only 10:50, so I got a long day and I'm so excited to wear this look out and, you know, actually see a wear test, because the only times I did test this out was like at school and I kind of just took my makeup off at the end of the day. So as for like everything else that I applied, I just applied Mara Badescu setting spray just to get the powders a little bit more soaked up into my skin. And then for lips, I actually have my Melt Cosmetics Bang Bang and my Ulta Stay Fierce on my lips. And for eyelashes, I actually have a case of stacked eyelashes that I don't care about, and I really don't know which ones these are in particular, but most likely they're probably ShopMissA, because I had a lot of ShopMissA lashes and then I kind of just stacked them together and put them in here. And then as for everything else, that's pretty much it. So I have a long day ahead of me and I will be right back with a wear test. The time is now 9:30 and it's been a total of 11 hours, so I am excited to finally end the video and finally take off this makeup because it's just been a long day. I really didn't do anything productive. There was no sweat involved, anything like that. It was just like a day with my boyfriend's family, going shopping, you know, just a very chill, relaxed day. And this is how the makeup turned out at the end of the day. Now I will say this, I look better from far away. I will do a zoom in so you can see what it actually looks like up close, because there's a lot y'all need to see. But let's talk about the products individually and how they held up and everything like that. So let's start off with the primer, because I think the primer, like I said earlier, was probably the best thing out of this line, because it is so good, so comparable to a lot of other high-end primers, kind of like my Touch in Sol, very similar to that. This just feels so good on the skin. It looks good, it holds up, and it doesn't break down to an oily mess at the end of the day, which is what I really, really like. So let's talk about the foundation next. The foundation, I like the color match. When I first applied it, you know, it was really good, very promising. And then it started to oxidize, and then I started to slowly transition into looking like a Oompa Loompa, just very slowly, very gradual. And it got to the point where I was just like, okay, let me fix this with the concealer. The concealer, for how thick it is, didn't provide as much coverage as I anticipated, so it was just very lackluster. And then on top of that, since it was so thick, it took off the foundation that I had underneath, and then I ended up having to mix the two and then having this color on my face, which just so happens to miraculously match my neck, which I am very pleased about. But with all that being said, with all those layers, I was still not able to cover up some of my redness and some of my acne scars. So, do I recommend this? No, because I don't want you guys to go into CVS, spend your hard-earned money just to have a light medium coverage, or just feel like you're gonna have to mix these products in order to make it work. Because in my opinion, if you're gonna have to mix products to make it work, that's kind of an indication that the product alone is probably not worth the money. The eyebrow pencil, I do believe I want to keep, because although it was kind of red on me, I do like the formula and I like the way that it applies into my brows, because I think that the shape with this being oval instead of teardrop really makes a difference, and I feel like I can apply my eyebrows even faster with this. And you know, even though I was kind of opposed to this spoolie, I ended up kind of liking it in the end. So it was really good, and it wasn't even that expensive, so I can get by with this one. Let's talk powder, because I actually have it sitting open. So the powder itself is absolutely beautiful. It's a beautiful light yellow shade. This is the shade I'm always looking for, so it's so good that they have it in the drugstore. But the cons, like I said, is that it does have flashback, and it's really, really bad flashback. But the good thing is that when you use this to set your face, it sets it. It sets it in place. You won't get any type of dewiness out of your skin. So to test that, I actually did not mention it, but you guys saw me do it. I just set my face in this area. I did not set it in the forehead area because I wanted to see how long the foundation and concealer wore on its own. So I will zoom you guys in, like I said, but on as you could see, it's very dewy up there. And then on this area right here, it kind of looks like a natural satin finish foundation, which is really nice. And I do see myself using this, but as for like events and, you know, flash photography, I don't think that this is gonna be it, but it is a nice powder and I can look past it just because of the color, just because of how well it lasts on the skin and how well it just it feels good on the skin overall, and I just recommend it for that reason and that reason only. The palettes that were the most expensive thing in this haul, I don't recommend these. I don't want you guys to spend your money on these because you see these colors everywhere, and there is no doubt in my mind that you already have these colors in your collection, even if you are a beginner. But with that being said, this selection and this variety is very unappealing because who realistically is going to be wearing a full shimmery satin eye look every day? Plus, the real tea is, it didn't even stay on my eyes. And I never really have issues with eyeshadows creasing or coming off or really extremely fading, except for today and except for the times where I use this palette. This palette is not very pigmented and the colors don't last on the eyes, and I don't know why that is, but it's just that you don't need this. You really don't. And I guarantee you, you can find better shadows at a better deal, at a better quality than this, and you can just definitely pass it up. As for the contour kit, it makes me so upset because it's like you can literally do so much with a 3 shadow panned palette like this. Like, you can make this a blush, you can make this an even darker contour shade, you know what I mean? Like, you could do so much, and to label this as a bronzer, even the lightest skin tone girl can't even make this a bronzer. I guarantee you that it's gonna look like a dark face powder because it doesn't have any of that brown undertone. All of this is just a pressed version of banana powder. So it just makes me upset that this palette costs so much, and at the end of the day, you know what? My contour is a little patchy and it's not cute. The contour all over my forehead has faded significantly. The highlighter is still prevalent, but that's also because I used an eyeshadow. If I just use this highlighter on its own, who knows what it would have looked like. You know what I mean? I had to layer on a lot, and I just can't get past the fact that it was $14 when I could buy individual bronzer, blushes, and highlights for a cheaper price. The liquid eyeliner, I think, is something that you should get and you should try because brush tips are really, really hard to find, especially in the drugstore, and to find something that's very precise, easy to apply, and is very, very pigmented says a lot. And this, I don't think, does it smudge? Let me see. I was gonna say it doesn't smudge, but it definitely flakes when you touch it. Now with that being said, if you have oily eyelids or if you have watery eyes and you need something waterproof, this is not for you. This is for those girls who don't really have oily eyelids and are okay with using things that are not waterproof like me. I still like it, but it will definitely flake and it will definitely smudge if you touch it. As for the retractable eyeliner, it's completely gone. It's completely gone off my waterline. And I know I disclosed that earlier, but you know what? There's way better ones out there on the market. So you could definitely skip this one if you know you don't need it. But if you're in a pinch, like I said, it will work. As for the mascara, the last item, I don't like this. And I don't like it because all it does is add color to my lashes. I zoomed you guys in, but I also dimmed out the lights. So as you could see, this is what everything looks like. And my main problem here with the foundation and everything is this whole entire upper lip area. Do you see how it just looks cakey. Can you see that? It's just cakey, flaky, dry. The foundation on my chin has completely rubbed off. I don't know what happened here, but all the foundation is completely rubbed off. I don't know what happened there. My nose kind of patchy right now, but when I say the primer actually works, I'm talking about this area, which is my problem area. My face itself around, you know, other than this upper lip area, looks all very smooth, but do you see how now the contour looks a little bit muddy, and then my acne is kind of peeking through? Do you see that a little bit? And then on my chin here, my cheek. We definitely have had better days, and right now what I feel that I look like right now is I feel like I look like I've been through it. You know, I look like I just went through a breakup. That is what is resembling this look. And you know what, if I were to rate like my entire experience with using everything, it would probably be like a 4 out of 10. Like, this wasn't the best full face that I've done. So with that being said, you guys, I hope you guys all enjoyed the review. Thank you guys so much for watching and, you know, being very open to my opinions, whether they were good, whether they were bad. In general, I think that the entire brand can definitely up its quality. There's a lot more that this brand can learn from and improve on, expand on. So hopefully they do expand their range, their foundation range, their contour palette, their quality of their eyeshadow, quality of their packaging, everything like that. I hope they all take it into consideration if they do watch my review or any other review that has any constructive criticism. So I hope you guys all enjoy the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye! Peace out, Girl Scouts.